this is our friend Jenny. She's the one on the right. Now, Jenny's a dynamite person and a lot of fun to hang out with. She's also my personal hero. Why? Well, I'll get into that in just a minute. Now, Jenny owns a yarn shop here in downtown Medford, Oregon called... Yeah, it's a small town. We don't have to be fancy. Now, the shop has a slogan, and that slogan is, "Oh, sheep." Sheep, wool, yarn. Yeah, okay, you get it. Now, Jenny isn't what you would call a flamboyant person. Okay, let me rephrase that. What I mean is the decor of the yarn shop isn't what you would call flamboyant. See, she prefers to let the yarns be the star. So as a result, the walls in the shop look a little plain. Especially this wall. See, this building used to be a medical office of some kind, so behind this wall is what was once the receptionist's office. Now, Jenny has a rack there to display the patterns, pattern books, and magazines that she has for sale. But that big blank spot between the window she's kind of trying to hide and the ceiling is pretty dull. So we talked about it a little bit and decided that the shop's slogan, cut out of individual letters, would look great up there. So I went home and I cut a piece of 1/2 inch thick MDF down to a size that would fit on my CNC table. And then I sanded it smooth with my pneumatic sander. Then progressively finer grits of sandpaper on my random orbit sanders. Then I gave the whole sheet a primer coat of antique white paint. Now, as I said before, Jenny isn't exactly what you would call a flamboyant person. Okay, let me rephrase that. What I mean is, she wanted the design to be simple, in keeping with the decor of the shop. So in VCarve Pro, I selected a simple font. Then I had a little fun with it, replacing the dot on the exclamation point with the silhouette of a sheep. And manipulated the characters so they would fit on the sheep. Then made sure everything was centered. Then I created a profile toolpath, calculated that toolpath, then saved the G-code. Once all the paint had dried outside on the CNC, I set everything up and used a 1/8 inch diameter downcut spiral end mill to cut out the pattern. Now you can see some wood dust off to the right there on the sheet, but the downcut spiral of the end mill tends to push all that dust down into the cut, and that helps to keep the parts in place as they're being cut out. Once all the characters were cut out though, it was time to apply another coat of antique white paint to everything. Then I painted the edge of the letters a nice green, which matches the green color of her business card and her website banner. Then, once everything had dried for a few days, we went to the shop to hang the sign. Now, I hung the sign during normal business hours, so there were customers coming and going. It all worked out fine, though. I will say at the end of the day, the sign does kind of blend into the wall. But the green edges on the letters do stand out, and the shadows created by the characters do make it pop. Now, I know Jenny likes it, and that, at the end of the day, is what really matters. Now, a little earlier I said that Jenny is my personal hero, and that I would explain that. Well, about 3 years ago, Jenny didn't own the yarn shop. She worked in the yarn shop. The owner at the time decided that she had to make some changes in her life, and one of those changes was to be closing down the yarn shop. Well, faced with the prospect of looking for work in an economy that wasn't exactly booming, Jenny did something that would have scared most people to death. She talked to her family and she talked to some close friends, and she bought the yarn shop in September of 2014. She didn't curse her luck. She didn't blame someone else for her circumstance. Instead of looking for a job, she took what I think is a very brave step, and she created her job. Did I mention that Jenny is 24 years old? That's why she's my personal hero. That's why I support her 100%. So, if you knit, crochet, if you're a spinner, if you're a weaver, and you find yourself in Medford, Oregon one day, stop in and say hi to Jenny. She will take care of you. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up down there. If you'd like to follow along in my adventures in CNC routing in particular, or woodworking in general, click the subscribe button. Whether you do that or not, thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care.